if we are missing, any kind of dependencies, so those kind of dependencies will be happening at the ng on init state. Okay, the first phase in the Angular will happen at the constructor phase, where we can able to initialize the variables, arrays, or API call. Everything can be done at the constructor phase. At the ng on init phase, so whatever the component requires, those kind of variables we can able to initialize here. Any specific components to be initialized before the loading, we have to do with the ng on init. Suppose any general things which are not used by the component, or which are only within the constructor, or any kind of performance, or any kind of variables to be only manipulated, or calculations we are going to do at the constructor level, not calculations, only the declarations. Okay, but assigning and all we can able to do at the ng on init state. Okay, and this is not the next phase, but this is one of the phase, that is ng on destroy. So this ng on destroy, so this method is called when component is about to destroy. Means if you, so if you want to remove a particular div, for example, you are having a div, so that div you want to unmount from the um, DOM. Okay, suppose on a click of a button, in those cases we'll go for this ng on destroy. And also this ng on destroy, if you declare a huge data variable, so once there once the component is getting moved to another component, we can destroy that particular data there. Means so the unused variables within the component can be destroyed, which are harmful while we are loading another pages. So those kind of things we can able to destroy here, or we can able to delete those objects or arrays, or different boolean values, or whatever it is at the ng destroy method. So what it will do, it will free up the resources, and also it will unsubscribe from the observables. For example, any HTTP calls you will do, so we can able to do the unsubscribe over here. And also it can perform any cleanup tasks. We can able to do any initialization after the work is done, with the component. So all of these things we can able to do at the ng destroy level. Okay, so the other one is ng on changes. So this method is called whenever the input property of the component changes. So this input property we have saw in the two-way binding, one-way two-way binding, so property binding. In those cases we saw this input property. So if we are doing any changes for the component, in those cases this will go for the ng on changes life cycle method. Okay, suppose if you are adding, or if you are actually making some property like disabled or enabled of a button, where you are passing from the TS to the HTML, all those things they can be captured at the ng on changes. Okay, so this will be triggered, then only the component will be loaded. Okay, so the very next one is ng do check. Ng do check, what it will do is, so this method is called whenever Angular runs change detection on the component. Suppose if it is finding any change in the component, then ng do check, this will be running. Suppose it to find the detection of the change inside the component. Okay, the and also very next one is ng after content init. So ng after content init, so this method is called after Angular project external content into components view. Means if you are loading the data external content into the Angular project, suppose you have one content outside of the project, and you are actually loading that particular content to the view. in those case, this ng after content init will be triggered. Okay. So then after that, what will happen is it will go for the ng content check. It will check the particular, whatever the data you have sent to the view, content, and whether it is a proper content or not. So we can able to check at the ng after content checked place. So the very next one is ng after view minute, and ng after view minute. This method is called after Angular initialization, initializes the component view and also child views. For example, you will have a parent component and a child component. A parent component will have two child components and also three child components. So like that, actually we will have. So this ng after view unit will be triggered. It will initialize the parent and also child views in the project, and also ng after view checked. Ng after view checked. So this will ensure they are actually if there are any changes with the parent component as well as with the child components. So this method is called after the checks. After Angular checks the components view and also child views for the changes. So for both the views, if their changes are there or not, so at those point of time, this Angular will check the Angular after view will be triggered. So just a sample program for this. So we will go to one by one about these steps in the program level. So here the program will be there in general. How does it look like? So first of all, we want to import the component on init and also on destroy from the Angular core. Angular core is our npm module, node module. So from that, actually, I am getting this on init as well as on destroy and also component. What that is a normal one. So this is the add component declaration, and also I want to implement. So whatever the lifecycle methods are there, actually I want to implement them with on init, and also I want to generally we have to implement towards the component that on init and also on destroy. Okay, first thing is actually constructor. So where I am putting some console log and on init and on destroy. So this will be triggered only when we are unmounting the particular component. And also the very next one is actually ng on changes. So if we do any changes for the component, ng on changes will be triggered. ng do check, it will check the the updates. The very next one, view after content init, after ng after content checked, and after that view init, view checked. Then after that, we are going to end the program here. So whatever the same thing, whatever I have told earlier, same thing is there here. So here the component lifecycle components loaded on the component for the first time. What are the lifecycle components or lifecycle methods will be loaded for the first time. For the first time, so it will load. One is constructor, and other one is ng on changes, and other one is ng on init, view after content init, after view init, and also after view init, and also on ng on destroy. Suppose if it is we are unmounting. Okay, so these are the very first things will happen. So here as we already saw, this is the the place where we can able to do the any injections and also any variable injection and also variable declarations for the component. So we will declare them at the constructor level and also with the ng on changes. So what ng on changes, this method is called whenever the value of this input property will be changed. So in those time, so actually this is called before the ng on init. This is one of the entire question also. So before the when will be the ng on changes will be triggered. So then very next one is ng on init. So this method is called after first ng on changes. It is used for initializing the component properties, and also it will, suppose if you want to fetch the data from some other places, so this is the best place where you can able to do API call fetching the data from the server. So all of things can be possible at ng on init phase, and also ng after content init. So this method is called after components content has been projected to the view. Suppose whatever the content we are going to show to the view. So at those point of time, this content will be triggered, and also view unit also. It will initialize the parent as well as child views. So let me show you this first of all. So let me go here. The component. So on this one, and also here this life cycle. So here at the life cycle, actually once we create the project, we will get this structure. So where in the app component, in the app component, actually I will be having this HTML and also module.ts and also child.component.ts. Okay. So I have here one is the parent component. So this is my parent component. In this parent component, actually I am getting the component after view content checked, after content init view checked, view init, do check on changes, on destroy, on init. All of things I am actually getting from the Angular core. This is my parent component, which is there in the app.component.ts. Okay, so this will be auto generated when you run the program. You will run the program with ng new, and also the application name. No, with that you will get this program. No? So here again I am having here some template. This template is actually the HTML, whatever the HTML is there, but I am writing here as a lifecycle hooks. So once I click on this toggle, it should go to the toggle function, and this child component, whatever is there, that should get triggered. We will come to the child component. So next one is actually export. So we are implementing the all lifecycle methods towards the app component. So as I mentioned, this is the parent component. Whatever I have actually imported from the node modules, I am actually implementing towards the component. Okay, so now I am declaring the variable display child and boolean equal to some false. Okay, so actually I am just taking this one, and why I am taking this one, initially this should not be loaded. Ng, if you remember, we saw about ng, if it is true it will load the component, else it won't load the component. No? So here I am actually by default I am passing that display child value as false. That's why this component initially it won't be loaded for me. So now here again, actually I am having one is constructor, another one is ng on changes, ng on init, do check. So I have everywhere I am putting some console.log. Okay, so once I am doing some change for this component, so this means once I click on this toggle, what will happen? It will go and hit this function, and this display child, whatever this display child is there, no, that will be initially it is actually false. If I click on this toggle button, then what will happen? That will become true. Okay, if it is true, again it will become false. If it is becoming true, what it will happen? It will go and load this child component. In this child component, again I am actually calling all this node module, I mean this life cycle methods, and I am going to implement, I mean towards my child component. I have created the child component within the app folder only. Okay, so here again at the at input message, and I am giving here an empty, I am taking a empty string. At input is a decorator. Through this decorator in Angular, we can able to get the input data. Just like if you see in C, we have no scanf and all. No? So like that, we are having here at input decorator. Through this at input decorator, you will get the data. Actually, I mean you will get the input data. I mean for the variable. Okay. So here I am having actually one. I mean this the all the same phases. One is constructor ng on changes, ng on init. Here also I am loading the all the life cycle methods. Okay. So finally ng destroy is also there. This is everywhere I am putting as a child component. So here what I am going to do is I am going to run this one and check it in the in my local host. So let me run this one. Go to 0, 0. So initially this will look like this. And so you are there, na Ramakrishna?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, initially it will look like this. So where in the console log, so where if I go for this side by, and if I load the component for the first time, it will go and initialize this constructor and on it, do check content in it, content checked, and also this view in it, view checked, and also do check. Again, it will go for do check and content checked and content view checked. Okay. Everything will happen. So even you can put this by putting the breakpoints. Go to here and put the breakpoints here one after the other. So that you will have the more clarity. Put the breakpoints one after the other, and we are not going to the child like say child. Initially, we are still at the parent level. So once I am loading, it will initially go for the constructor. Then it will go for the init and ng do check, and also content init and content checked, view init, view checked, and also do check, and also content checked, view checked. So this is the, I mean, very initially how the component will be loaded. So this is also an interview question mentioning what will be the first life cycle methods triggering actually. So if you see the ng destroy state is there, but it won't be triggered. Okay, unless until you are unmounting or removing your component from the DOM. So this ng destroy won't be actually visible. Okay, so now I am doing some change for the current component by clicking on this hide or show change. So if I click on this button, what will happen? So if I click on this button, it will go for the display child and this toggle. So whatever the value earlier I have taken, which is false, that will become actually true. Okay, and once it is becoming true, this child component, whatever is there, no, that will be visible to us. So let us go to the next one. So ng do check, and I think it's loaded. Yeah, let me ng do check. After that, let me go to the let me go to this child. See already child which are triggered. Okay, since it is a child is already came at the left hand side, so all the child related life cycle hooks are actually came to the picture. So even I will do the same here. I will go to the ng changes and also do change here, and also I will go to the this content in it and also content checked for in the child component and view in it everything, and also ng on destroy at the child place. So first I will load. Initially nothing will be there, so we will just pass through. But once I click on top of this row child, then this will become true, and we will go to the child component. In the child component, it will load the constructor. This is the child component. In the child component, we will load the constructor, and also view init, do check, and also content init, content check, view init, view check. These are all actually will be triggered one after the other. So now, okay, all will be available for us. So I want to remove this one. Okay, if I remove this one, so let us think I don't want to show this child component. So in that case, if I click on this toggle, so it will now the value of this display child will become false. If it is becoming false, what will happen? The child component won't be visible to the DOM. Okay. So once the child component is not visible to the DOM, then what will happen? There is a change in the component, right? So ng do check. So here again ng after content checked, see ng destroy. So it is actually getting destroyed. Child component is getting destroyed here, and we can able to find the same thing in the console also. Ng on destroy. In this time, that will be triggered. Okay. You understood the flow? Hello, Ramakrishna.
Yes, sir. I understand. I'm getting.
You understood the flow, no?
Yes. Hello?
Yeah, yes.
Yes,
So
sir. Yes, I understand.
that's the case. Okay, so part of it. So this is about the ng life cycle method. Then, so once the component is getting loaded, in those case, this ng on changes, will be triggered. So it is important to know ng on changes and ng on init are called only once during the component life cycle method. So while doing ng check, suppose if you do any for only one time, this ng on changes will be triggered, and also during the component life cycle method, while ng do check, content check, this can be called multiple times, but ng on changes and ng on init, they will be called only one time. So these are the phases again. If you are going via if you are reloading the component or updating the component, so then ng if you are updating the component, ng on changes, ng view init, and also do check, content check. So these all will be triggered. Okay. So
Okay, sir. Yeah. Hello?
yes. Okay. So suppose if you are having any particular component, let me take one example.
Mhm.
So let me go to the code. So this is the code, and this code I'm just going for the ng simple, not simple on changes. It's already there. So let me give here one particular input. Okay, input tag and input I am having. So let me give it below the constructor. So ng on changes. Okay, ng on changes. I think there, but not it taken. Okay, ng on changes. Whatever is there here, I am just taking only the console log. So let me go here and paste it. So ng on changes, just remove this one. Put it below the constructor. Below the constructor and take a template. Okay, take a template and go above and put it here. We are using ng for, so the ng for actually, I think I am not using any message, only one time I am using. So I am removing this one. So here I have the data. One is NP ng on changes data and other one is items any. So let me save this one. So still there is some changes required. That is like simple changes we have to import. One is like simple changes at input. So let me go above. So both are there. Okay. So here there is an second. No. So next one is this items and so very next one is actually removing the duplicates. So we can remove the duplicates. What I am going to do, I am actually putting some data and removing the elements. Okay. So initially let us think I have here one value. And changes dot ng on changes. Okay. Now here again there is some issue. That is not actually. We have to move this to the constructor. Let us move this place from this place. Exactly.
Hello.
Yeah, yes. So here there is an issue once again with the and at input data column. 1 second, I am doing that particular one. Data is in column is equal to basis. So now again like that, we'll go for the items also same. So which is equal to some basis. Okay. Changes. Now we can take the data here. For example, 1 comma 2 comma 3, something like this. So if initially we will get this one console.log, we will go for the changes. So, changes here. So we go to the place and I will remove the debug points for now. So should change, so where we can able to find the particular simple change is there, no? That is actually more with the hello. Okay. Is
Yes, sir. Yes.
the place where we can find the ng on changes triggering. Okay, even I am not using this one, so but we can capture the particular changes actually. Yeah. Yeah, this can be modified a little bit more also. So we will see that in the next classes. So this is about the ng do check ng life cycle methods, different life cycle methods which are available in Angular. Any questions?
No, sir.
Um,